Hi, welcome to Blockhead U. My name is Melanie. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're new here, you should know that we do this every week. We do this live every Wednesday. We start at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Pacific. And if you're not new here, thank you so much for joining us. I forgot, did I introduce myself? My name is Melanie. I'm in Toronto. My head's in a bit of a tizzy because it's a really busy week for blockheads. It's BlockCon week. And hello to everyone joining the chat. I see my friend Ashley, who also happens to be my co-host. So let me grab her so we can talk about BlockCon. Ashley. As usual, please introduce yourself and let us know where you're from. I see another Torontonian. And hi, Ashley.
Hello.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
just tea out of my Boo Kids on the Block cup.
Boo Kids on the Block. I love that. Donnie's at Wahlburgers. Oh my God. Is he live? Is Donnie? Okay. You know what?
No.
Okay.
Aren't the Celtics on tonight?
I have no idea. I told you once the Raptors are out, I stopped paying attention. Okay, just give me one more second. Okay, girl, it's BlockCon week.
I'm
And
overwhelmed.
I'm overwhelmed and underpaid and all those good things. You are leaving for Chicago tomorrow.
8 a.m.
Oh boy.
I'm picking up a car at 8 a.m. We're hitting the road.
And I think
it's gonna
you told me that you are 100% not packed, right?
No, I have a shirt that I made for the concert.
Yes. Is that you showed me some of its progress a while back. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost done. It is done. It's done. I can't do it. It's drying in my living room.
Okay.
I have not a bag packed, no makeup ready. Like I am. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And sorry, and you're gonna leave at 8 a.m. And how long is the drive? Did you say? I can't remember.
So it's like 7 hours, but we're planning 9 just for like stops.
Yeah.
You know, potty breaks, snack breaks, and all that stuff.
Snack breaks. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fun. We actually, speaking of tonight, one of my co-drivers downloaded 4 seasons of Vanderpump Rules so we can listen or watch it on the way. So
perfect.
It's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
Perfect. Well, speaking of our entertainment while we're traveling to BlockCon, I plan on, I don't know if anybody watches Yellow Jackets, but I'm a big Yellow Jackets fan, and its season finale is on Friday. It's going to come out Friday at like midnight, so I plan on downloading it because I don't leave until Friday morning. I'm going to download it, and that's what I'm going to watch in the airport or on the flight or whatever. I'll be like, you know, it's so dark. Like, it's a very, very dimly lit show.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to watch on a phone, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah. That show is amazing. I'm not up on the current season. I just kind of got into it. Long story short, there's another show on Amazon Prime that's very similar in premise. I thought it was Yellow Jackets. I started watching that.
Oh, The Wilds.
The
Wilds, yeah. It's 2 seasons and it's been canceled. So it was really good. I really liked it, but just don't get too attached, I guess, because it's done so. Yeah.
Oh, good to know.
But okay, speaking of Vanderpump, did you end up getting your ticket to the show?
Yes.
Okay, so that's tomorrow night. This time tomorrow, you're going to be in a room with Tom Sandoval?
The mustache is what he's called now.
Got it.
Yeah, I'll be there. So anyone else who's going, say hello. But I'm going to be seeing the big jerk, this Tom Sandoval, and the most extras tomorrow night.
Well, listen. So during your trip, you're going from a complete 0 to 5 heroes, right? At BlockCon.
Yeah.
How exciting! So, Tom is setting the bar real low. So you're due for an amazing time at BlockCon.
Yeah.
And over the past since Sunday, we have received a ton of information about BlockCon. It's a little overwhelming, but we asked for it, right? Were we not like, "Oh, we don't know a lot, but now all of a sudden we know a lot.
It's like
we want to try to go
by the minute at this point. Like literally by the minute we're getting information. It's like,
yeah.
okay, what's happening now? What's the new announcement?
Yeah, so we got a more detailed schedule, like itinerary, what we'll be doing and where, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We also got some panel themes this evening. The new kids shared it on their Instagram stories, and they also placed it on the Hoover app. So the themes are an NKOTB talk, Q&A, and all the new kids are going to be there. And then panel 2 is going to be Hangin' Tough, the videos. All the new kids are going to be at that one. And then the third one is the Block 15th anniversary, and all the new kids are going to be at that one. So we're due for some really good conversation. I'm sure a bunch of laughs.
It's interesting that, you know, an article came out recently where Donnie said, like, oh no, it's immersive. We are going to be there the whole time. And then today they announced 3 panels, and every single panel says underneath it, all 5 new kids will be there, which is like,
yeah, well, you know, people have been asking, because another feature of that Hoover app is it's popping off. The comments, the message board, personally, I'm a little overwhelmed by it. Right now, I think it's telling me there's like 14,000 messages.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
I'm about the same, because I'm not looking at the message boards at all.
No.
You know.
But shout out to those who are keeping it, you know, bumping, and, you know, asking questions, answering questions from other blockheads, and connecting with other people, and setting up various meetups. That's amazing.
Yeah.
We might break the app though.
I don't, like, I cannot have an email that's unopened in my mail on my phone. Like, I cannot have notifications.
Oh, I have a lot of unopened emails.
Oh, I can't. And I you know, junk mail a lot of stuff. So I don't get a lot of that. Oh. Announcement, BlockCon 2023. This just came up on the WOVA app. Saturday food options. Like, literally, things are hitting.
That's amazing. Yes, so in case, you know what I want to know? In the chat, is there anybody who is already in Chicago or in Rosemont and, you know, warming up because we know that kind of the festivities kind of warm up tomorrow with WallCon. Is there anybody who's already in town and I don't know, getting all excited and for BlockCon? I don't even know. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a little overwhelmed. But should we just, sorry?
It's my brain is melting. It's a brain melt right now.
Yeah, my brain is melting too. Okay, so I also look what I got in the mail today. I ordered, so I think I'm gonna bring it with me, and then my friends and I will have, this will be our therapy. If it gets a little overwhelming. Oh my gosh, what about you? Did you order one?
Yeah, I ordered. So
that's right.
Yeah, I hope my friends who are driving with me don't see this, but I ordered one for each of them so we can, while we're in the car for 7 hours, we can watch Vanderpump Rules. We can do our New Kids on the Block Blockhead coloring book. We have a couple crafty things we're working on. So like it's going to be a quick drive, but the coloring book is definitely on the list, and I ordered a couple extra for those guys, so it'll be fun.
That's so thoughtful of you. And somebody in the chat was just asking, what is it? So
yes.
It's a fan-made coloring book that is inspired by the New Kids on the Block. It's called the the Blockhead book with the right stuff. Somebody named a woman by the name of Kristen created it. You'll see there's like New Kids inspired let's see, pages here that you can color in. She was actually on our live last week, and this says like Nightwood, McIntyre, and Wahlberg. So yeah, you can buy that on Amazon. You can check out the details in last week's live. All right.
Yes. So if you go to Melanie's profile, you can see, or mine, you can see the past episodes. Last week's episode, she joined us and told us about her inspiration for the coloring book. It's a great episode to watch just to hear how she came up with it. But also, they are still available. She does ship to Canada, so check it out. Buy yourself a coloring book. They're really cute.
Yeah. All right. Should we get started?
Yeah.
Okay. So our first and our only guest tonight, no pressure. I'm going to go and grab her.
For everyone watching, if you do not know our next guest, up in the left-hand corner is a little arrow down. Click on that. You can follow her after this. You're going to want to. She posts some crazy cool stuff, and she has a really amazing connection to all of us.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Nice
How you
to meet
doing?
you. I'm Melanie, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
And that's
although
have
we've
you
probably
met Ashley before?
met.
Well,
we've
you've definitely
crossed
taken my picture before.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the tour last year. Yes. Okay. So, just in case there's anybody who doesn't know who you are, can you please introduce yourself and let people know from where you're joining us?
I am Paris Visone, and I am currently in Boston, and I am a photographer. I
And
was
then
on the last tour.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to ask you. So, what's your role or your connection with New Kids on the Block?
So
You
I
kinda
was
just
their tour photographer for the first time last year for the mixtape tour.
Mhm.
And long time fan since I was 5 years old.
So, having said that, what's your earliest memory of the New Kids on the Block?
Honestly, it was watching like that VHS that I had over and over again when I was like super small. And if
Was
you
it like
think
the
about
Hangin'
it,
Tough concert
yeah.
video that one? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it was actually kind of creepy because I was very young.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Because I think I remember last year when you were announced as the new tour photographer, you made an announcement on your account and you posted a picture of yourself as like a wee child, and you were like sitting on like the bed sheets and everything.
I had the bed sheets, a full outfit, a hat, and a puzzle. I had the puzzle next to me, and I had a poster on the wall. It was like full on.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
So what is your earliest like memory though of becoming a New
That
Kids
was
fan?
it, honestly, because it started off like that, and then it kind of like I got into Hanson and I got into like metal stuff, so it kind of veered off and then came back obviously last year full force when I was on the tour. So
And
I wasn't fully engaged throughout the whole career.
Yeah.
But
well, they took a bit of a break,
Yeah.
to be fair. That's okay.
It's
Okay,
okay,
so
as long as it's okay.
yeah. So what like drew you to a career in photography?
It actually was to meet Hanson.
Yeah.
That was like
I love it.
I love a girl with a plan. Love it.
Yeah. When I was 11, I decided that's it. Like photographers hang out with bands. I need to become a photographer. And that's where it started. And then I went to in high school I took photography classes, and then in college I went for photography. So
Right. So
I really went
you have
through
some
with
talent,
it.
obviously. You had some talent.
I guess, yeah. I've been doing it for a while, so.
And you do some videography as well, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of out of necessity, like,
Yeah.
oh, now we need content. And I was like, all right, this camera does it too.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
it's a whole nother thing. It's a whole different mindset, but I like it. I like doing it, but I love, it's a lot easier to be like, okay, you're doing photo today, video tomorrow. It's kind of hard to separate,
Do
like,
both?
get photos of this, but also get videos of this. And I'm like, you can't do it at the same time.
Oh.
It's hard. Yeah.
One camera does two things, but not
Yeah,
the
but
same.
I'm still only one person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do have two hands. Maybe I should just really fully commit and just do one camera for each hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Next tour.
Yeah.
So wanting to be a photographer and then getting to the point where you're being the tour lead photographer, what was that journey like, or what got you into the concert part of photography?
So I started shooting bands in high school, like local bands. So I was just going to punk rock shows. Like I grew up, I went to high school in Boca Raton, Florida. So it wasn't super, like underground, like seedy sort of things. Like they were nice places, and there were shows, and they were put on with a bunch of rich kids. It was whatever. But I mean, it still had the energy and like I got to figure out how to take pictures in the dark and, you know, with movement and all that stuff. So I got the practice through that. And then my first actual tour was with Blondie, and that was
Wow.
amazing. Yeah, really awesome. And that sort of taught me how to act on the road and be a roadie. So it gradually just kept going from there, and then one thing leads to another, and it's never like one thing, like, oh, this happened and that's why I have this. It's like stack, oh, you know this person, oh cool, yeah, I think I know that person too, and then oh, maybe I'll suggest you for this, and then like 5 years later you have a job that started the seed like 5 years ago, you know. So
I've noticed that a lot of concerts, typically like the beginning of the show, like maybe in like the second or third song, like a bunch of photographers will come out like in front of the stage and they'll get to shoot maybe 1 or 2 songs and then they leave. Is that something that you did, or is that like media who are there shooting for media outlets?
Yeah,
or?
so that's usually newspapers, magazines, stuff like that, and it's the first 3 songs typically.
Okay.
And sometimes it's right in front of the stage, sometimes it's at front of house, like where the soundboard is and stuff. It all depends on the tour. But yeah, that's media. Usually the tour photographer shoots the entire show, like from wherever they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you never did the media side of it?
I did,
okay.
yeah. Some, like, I would just have my website and I would ask bands, like, can I photograph your show for free? And they would be like, sure. And like, that's how it happened. I never actually, maybe later in my career, but when I started off, I did not get paid for stuff like that. That was just more of like friends of friends, you know, can I do this to get exposure?
Networking, making connections, getting your name out there and your work out there.
Yeah.
I think that's the interesting thing about all this is, you know, a lot of people in the social media world go, oh, I would love that job, but it really takes grit and experience and like getting, you know, you're doing the free jobs to get to the point where you're having a paid job. It's a lot of stress, I'm sure.
I mean, starting now, like I'm 36 now, so I don't even know how I'd start now because I had the luxury of like, I lived with my parents, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the fact that I didn't have to make money from it right away was so freeing to like actually get me to do it to the level that I wanted to. So it makes sense. But yeah, it's a build just like anything, you know. Sometimes people are like, oh, you're so lucky. And I'm like, I mean, I am lucky. I'm not gonna say that I'm not. I'm very grateful for everything that's happened to me. But it's I definitely put in the work. You know what I mean?
Have you like done a lot of international travel with various tours? Like what are some of the cool places that you've visited outside of the States?
I've been everywhere basically. Cool. Not Alaska. That's like not Africa.
Okay.
But mainly everywhere else. Yeah. I toured with Limp Bizkit for a while and they went everywhere, like crazy places, like, and like like they're big in Russia. I think we did like 2 weeks just in Russia. So I've been, you know, my favorite place, Japan. Okay. For sure. Actually Hawaii with New Kids was amazing. I had never been to Hawaii before that. And that was like, it kind of feels like fake. Like the you know what I mean? Like the weather's perfect. It's beautiful. It's kind of weird to me.
There's somebody in the chat who said that she worked with Limp Bizkit. I'm not sure in what capacity. I randomly saw Fred Durst at the mall.
Oh, nice.
In Toronto. And they must have been in town and he was just shopping. He wasn't carrying any shopping bags though, so I guess he must have been a little disappointed in the offerings. Okay, so how did you end up working for the New Kids?
So I started, I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it just snacks. I started working with Godsmack in 2011. Okay. And I've been with them. This is the first tour that they just went on that I haven't been with them. So it's kind of like crazy that it feels weird, you know? But they would do VIPs. They switched VIP companies a few times, and they switched over to on the list.
Okay.
So I met the on the list people because I have to take the pictures for the VIP and all that. So I send them there. I am in contact with them. So they actually hooked me up with New Kids because you guys know Marcelo. He was like, peace.
Yeah. Yeah. So if anybody doesn't know, On the List is the company that organizes, coordinates the VIP experiences for blockheads at New Kids concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do all the logistics and run the whole thing. And then here I show up with my camera and then I take pictures and send them off to them. So yeah, they connected me and, you know, we did a Zoom, all of us, and they were like, yeah, we think you can do it. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And it was, it's definitely the largest, craziest meet and greet I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
The first couple shows, I was like, I don't think I can do this. I was like,
well, you were shadowing Marcelo, right?
Marcelo was there for like the first like 3 shows.
Right.
And I just remember like sweating.
Yeah.
Like I was exhausted. Like my back hurt. Like, because it doesn't seem like a lot, like I'm standing there with a camera, but when you're like this for like 2 hours, I'm getting a workout. I'm getting ripped.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was pretty funny. But then I got used to it, and it was like.
Well, and the best part is after standing and doing this for an hour, 2 hours, and you get to go and shoot the show, right?
Yeah. And I would do the photos of the everyone that was standing around the stage too, like before the show. I would take pictures of them, and then I would take pictures of them enjoying the show. So there was like a lot of photography having to do with the VIP.
Well, and then you got to, and then, you know, during the show they had the main stage plus they had the B stage too. So you're probably like back and forth.
Yeah, it was a lot of movement. And then the show's like what, 3 hours something, and you know, like with the other acts, like I'd still photograph them sometimes.
Oh yeah,
so
I
it's
was just
not
about
even
to
like
ask that. Yeah.
Like with Rick Astley, I would just like watch the show because he's amazing.
Yeah.
Just mesmerized by Rick Astley.
Oh,
but
so before, you know, before the live, somebody messaged, and somebody's also asked in the chat, they want to know what type of equipment do you use, like what brand, and then what models or whatever. I'm not a person, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. You got it.
Yeah.
I use Canon. So I've been working with Canon for a while now. I actually just hung out with my rep there. So he bought me breakfast. It was very nice of him. And
no baked beans, right?
Yeah. And it was inside joke. Baked beans, I'm not into it for breakfast. Just so everyone knows, am in here right now. Baked beans, nah. I think UK thing, but I love beans.
Yeah.
Just not in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, what we're talking about cameras.
Yeah, the camera. So you exclusively use Canon?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have a Canon R5C, which just came out. It's awesome. It's like half camera, half still camera, half video camera. So it's like professional on both, and you can switch it over. And that one is cool. It's a little bit heavier and bigger because it has a fan and it eats through batteries. That's all I have to say about that. So like, if you see me, I have like 3 extra batteries in my pocket because it just goes nuts with the battery power.
Okay, so here's how stupid I am. When you said it has a fan, I thought it was like a fan to like fan you because you're getting so hot. This is like a fan for like.
It's a little fan because it gets hot. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
When it's shooting 4K,
like,
it overheats, so they had to put a fan in it.
Got it.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, and then my secondary camera is just a Canon R, which is. It's kind of older at this point, but it's still awesome. It's for the first mirrorless camera that Canon came out with. So I'm definitely in the mirrorless section of cameras right now, and that's what I'm vibing with.
So at a show, do you have 2 cameras?
Yeah.
on you
Yeah,
that you're
I
going
carry
back and
2
forth?
cameras.
Oh,
Yeah, so
wow.
I have one with a 15 to 35, so that gets like the wider shots. And then I have another one that has a 24 to 240, which I can like zoom in and stuff like that. So I don't have to switch lenses. If something's happening that is, I want a close up, I just second camera.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just ask you a really random question? Only because I'm a photographer and we run into this every time we travel. What a pain in the ass is it to travel with the batteries?
I just don't say anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
Every time
Paris,
we
you're
travel.
traveling tomorrow, aren't you? You're traveling tomorrow.
Just don't tell anyone. What? There's 65 people here right now. Just no one tell on me. Keep this on the down low. Yeah, they say like no traveling with lithium batteries, but I've never had anyone stop me ever. So I don't know what people are supposed to do, but I just take them on my
always
carry-on.
problem. Every time it's like, do you have any lithium batteries? Yeah, I do. They need to come with me. We have to stow it underneath. You can't stow it underneath. There's lithium battery. Like, it's point.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Just, slip it under the rug.
So thinking back to the mixtape tour last year, was there a particular part of the show, like a song or like an effect or a dance move that was like your favorite to shoot?
Honestly, I loved Block Party just because it was first song right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Everyone's super excited. It was just, you get like the goosebumps, you know what I mean? Like I'd be backstage and like I'm getting nervous with everyone, and then it just comes out and it's just awesome. So it's I would say Block Party is my favorite. And then also the end, because I'm exhausted.
Yes.
I'm running around the whole time. When they roll Rick for the second time, I'm like, oh,
you're over it.
All right, this is great. Let's get him out of here. Let's go.
Because you've got a lot of work ahead of you after this still, right?
Yeah, well, I correct the photos every night.
Yeah.
Like right after the show. So I transfer and then I start going through them. I probably take about like 1,200 to 1,500 photos a night.
Is that including the VIP?
Oh, no.
Okay.
That's just like of the
Just
live.
Okay.
Yeah, I do the VIP right after the VIP.
Okay.
So
get it out of the way.
I have to. There's so many. Like the quantity. Like especially because the meet and greets, and then there's also the individuals, and then there's also the before the show and then the during the show. So it's like a whole thing. And then I do the live ones the night of. It usually takes me just as much time to get my stuff done as it does to take everything down and put it in the trucks. And like
to get to take down all this.
I'm leaving with the crew at the same time, and they take down the entire thing.
And are you doing this? Do you have a setup in the venue, or are you?
I'll usually sometimes I would be in the production office if there was room. Sometimes I'd go in the wardrobe room. Okay. Sometimes I'd have like my own little area. You never know. It's like when you get there in the beginning of the day, I try to scout out where I'm not going to be in anyone's way.
Got it.
Yeah.
Find your little cubby hole.
Yeah, and the crew room, so everyone's like using the bathroom right next to me as I'm working throughout the day. It's very glamorous.
So obviously there's a lot of challenges. Like you've already mentioned, like you're exhausted by the end. You still have work to do after the concert's done. But what was the most challenging thing about being part of this particular tour?
I think the only thing I'm used to it, so it's whatever. But I think the sheer volume of shows, like there was like 5 or 6 in a row without a day off. So it's like that I'm not used to. It's like either 2 or 3 at the most. And then you have a day off. You can like regroup. But here it's just go, go, go. And it's weird because at that 5th or 6th day, you're like, okay, I definitely need a break. But during those 5 days, you're just like on autopilot.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You only realize your exhaustion when you actually get to lay down and be like, oh, okay, I'm exhausted.
What would you do then on the days off, since they were so few and far between and you really had to
I would eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Emily, she did VIP. We always just went and got Asian food.
Oh,
That was our, like, we would get sushi or Korean barbecue or ramen or.
Okay, what city had your favorite ramen or sushi?
Good question.
I honestly don't remember.
Okay, it's all a blur, right? Yeah, that's fair.
At that point, I don't even know where I am most of the time.
Yeah.
You get on a bus, you wake up somewhere else, and then I'm like, where's the hotel? Where's the food? And I could be anywhere, and you could tell me that I'm in Chicago, you could tell me that I'm in California, I wouldn't know the difference. I'm like
That's fair.
in the radius of the hotel, and that's it.
So you wouldn't venture out very far?
Not really. Just because you have that day, you're hungry, you want to shower, you want to kind of chill because you're exhausted, and then by the time you eat, it's ready for bed, because you do want to get to bed kind of early because you want a night's sleep, because you have to get up the next day probably like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it's just like a chill. Yeah, I wouldn't adventure much, honestly. I know it's boring, but whatever. I got excited about eating.
Hey, eating's great. Love it.
Love eating.
Especially ramen and sushi.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so photography, doing all the photography on the tour, you were capturing, like you said, Blockhead moments before they started, during the show. Did you have a most memorable moment that you were able to catch, and what was it?
I don't think one particular moment. There was a lot of the individual like meet and greets were like really cool to witness, and I'm not being creepy. I had to be there, but
yeah,
it was. It's kind of interesting to see like what everyone says and what they do with their time when it's just like 1-on or 5-on-1. And it's kind of like a special thing, you know.
Yeah. Especially knowing. Can you hear her, Ashley?
Nope.
We can't hear you.
You're silent.
Maybe you got a call or. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the individual, seeing the individual.
Yeah, just the individual, just seeing what everyone is, why they love them so much, because they tell them like, oh, this impacted me, this got me through this, and it's just cool it's just always good vibes, and I'm down with that. It's one of my favorites.
So I was going to ask you what your favorite city was on tour, but they're all the same, right? So I'll skip over that one. So you're like behind the scenes or like and backstage, you're on tour with the new kids. Do you have any like, Marcelo's here. I asked him the same questions. Like anything, like any juicy tidbit, that you can share, anything that you saw that you're allowed to share? Any insight?
Is the thing. My job relies on being very discreet.
Like a fly on the wall.
Nothing happens, honestly. Everyone's having a good time. It's a very positive, like awesome tour. And that's not really the case all the time, honestly. Right. Most of the time it's not. Like it's a very kind of intense situation to be in. Like you're working with people, you're living with, so imagine you have roommates, but you also have to work with them. And you also have to hang out with them. And it's also a very small apartment. You know what I mean? Like it's
on wheels. Yeah.
So it could be, in most of the time is kind of difficult to get all of those things to mesh well together. Especially because if something goes wrong, everything's heightened, like everyone's, either someone's having a bad day, someone might be tired. But honestly, on the new kids, like the vibe is just so cool all around. Like mostly everyone is just having a good time and they're grateful to be there. And that's, I think, what the difference is between like a new kids tour and a regular tour is that if something goes wrong, it kind of just rolls off and it's all right. We'll fix it. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Because you've been at it for so long too, right?
Yeah.
That ton of experience. There's a question in the chat that I want to ask. Figured this one would come up. Okay, you're a photography pro. Any tips on what's the key to getting the perfect selfie with other blockheads or with the new kids in challenging lighting situations or with challenging angles?
So the lighting is very important. Overhead lighting will give you raccoon eyes. So you want to it might be weird, but if you have a new kid in your sights and you can determine which way, just take a spin around, hold your camera up. It's got to be an up angle. I think everyone pretty much knows that because you don't want double chins. So an up angle, and then just take a tour, like literally spin 360 and see where the light looks the best, because sometimes the light's reflecting off a wall, sometimes it's coming from a different way, and that's it. The more light, the better, because that's what a photo is. Photography means light. You need light to take a photo. So bad selfies are from not enough light and bad angles. So if you can get the up angle and make sure you have enough light, you should be good to go. And take like a couple real quick, Yeah,
that's true. Or I know some people will take a video and then go through the video and try to find still as well.
There you go. That's
but I like the idea of a ton of photos.
Yeah, it is kind of a video could be kind of creepy because you're just like and then there's nothing happening,
right? And there might be nothing to work with because you're all
might be a good video, an awkward video. It's something different.
Okay, so in the same kind of vein of advice, what advice do you have for people who are doing a meet and greet to make sure that they feel like, they look the best, or that they can maybe not have that anxiety about, oh my gosh.
You have the camera, you have the angles, the lighting is taken care of.
Yep.
Yeah. What can we do to make it the best?
I would say look in the mirror and see what your angle is. A lot to the side. I mean, you're in the photo. Are you talking about like the group photo? So you're already there. If you turn to the side, it's going to be better than straight up, straight of the thing. And you can just see this in a mirror. You know what I mean? No one really thinks like, oh, how am I going to look in this photo? Let me look in a mirror. So just take like 2 minutes, look in a mirror and like, oh yeah, I do look better from the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes putting a leg out, it works.
Putting a leg out, like the Angelina,
putting a
like
leg
that really
out.
like aggressive. Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just put a leg out, and also just maybe not worry. That's maybe maybe the best advice is just kind of enjoy your moment. And like the picture is the picture, and obviously I love photography. I don't know what I would be doing without it. But I think the meet and greet is more about the meeting and greeting rather than the photo. Right. So I would just kind of take it all in and breathe and try not to just say weird things.
Okay, speaking of weird things, Marcelo is in here in the chat being a little bit of a rascal. He asked, who is your favorite photog and why is it me? He also asked why you suck. So you don't have to answer that. I'm assuming it's an inside.
Listen, if he thinks I suck, he's the one who hired me, so he sucks.
There you go.
So he signed off on me. So that's on him. He is a great photographer. I know that he's like, oh, making a joke, but he actually is an amazing photographer. And I always want him to shoot with me in case I'm not as good. He's got it, but he thinks he's too cool to shoot anymore because he's management. Well, guess what? He's going to be shooting at BLOCKCON. I'm going to give him my second camera.
Yes! He's going to be your assistant.
Exactly.
At BLOCKCON.
I'm going to hire him to shoot me during BLOCKCON. It's going to be cool.
I think we should all like take photos of Marcelo taking
Yes.
pictures at BlockCon of you,
Yeah.
and then we'll send you, and then you can,
I love
use
this.
them how much he needs you.
Yeah.
So you were on a podcast last week, and it's called Is Breakfast Included, right?
Yes.
I think. Okay.
Mhm.
And on it, you and the host were talking about your having been on Shipwrecked. Is that what it's
Yes.
called? Okay. So that is like a rock cruise,
Basic.
right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
the Blockheads do the
Yes.
cruise, and I wasn't on the last one, which was a bummer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically that, but a metal cruise.
So, given your experience being on that cruise and what you've heard about the New Kids cruise, are there any similarities or
Just the fact that it's on a boat?
Yes, that's
probably the only thing that's similar about that. I still want to see. I'm hoping that BlockCon is kind of a glimpse into the cruise, because I think it's like I love the vibe of the Blockheads. It's just super fan, and I love that. I love when people are super into something, and I like seeing that. I like being around it, and I can't wait to see what BlockCon has to offer. I hope things get weird.
People have been asking in the chat if you're going to be at BlockCon, and
I am. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm flying tomorrow morning.
You're flying tomorrow morning, so you're going to be shooting. I'm assuming the VIP and like all things.
I think you guys have more information than I do, and that's Marcelo's fault. Okay.
You know what? You got to
download.
Do you have the app? Download the Google app. It's all there.
See, there you go. I don't know anything yet, so I'm sure I'll just be, around. I'm sure I'm doing the VIP. Babs will be there too.
Oh,
you guys know Babs.
Yeah.
So yeah, there should be a good amount of coverage as far as content going. So
yeah, we can always count on a good amount of content for sure. Are you going to be at Wahlburgers tomorrow? Do you know if you're?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think I might.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. What time does that start?
No idea.
Okay. I land at 11, so I think I'll make it. Okay. It can't be before 11.
No. Yeah. It's afternoon. That is hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know yet. Listen, I told you, I just get on planes and buses and I show up where people ask me to be, and then I will adapt to what I have to do when I get there.
Is there anything, so you say like you're hoping things get weird, but is there anything that you've heard about the cruise that you didn't see at a concert? You're like, ooh, that'd be funny to see, or that'd be interesting to see?
I just think more fan interaction. It's less of a okay, we're doing this show and that's kind of it. I think there's especially with the panels and stuff. Just you never know. You never know what people are gonna say or what the guys are gonna say, and what could happen. I just see a lot of dirty dancing, stuff like that. I'd love to see all of that in real life.
I think I might.
Yeah.
I think you might. Yeah. Okay, so you mentioned that you, growing up, were a huge Hanson fan, and I'm sure you still are a massive Hanson fan, right?
Yeah.
And you got to work with them. So what was that like?
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
They are also the nicest. Yeah. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, I don't know. A lot of people meet their idols or whatever, and they're kind of disappointed in it. But I'm telling you, New Kids and Hanson are exceeded expectations. Mm-hmm. Just like really cool guys. I was with, if you guys know the band Shinedown.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're like a rock band, like a radio rock band. But I'm really good friends with the guitar player, Zach. And he has a side band that's Alan McMyers and more. And they were opening for Hanson. So they like posted about it. And I was like, I need to get on that with you. Mm-hmm. Like, and we're talking in a van, all of us in a van, all the gear is in the van with us. Like, it is not glamorous.
Right.
But I just I was like, I need to be on this tour. Like, I want to like be around Hanson.
Well, this is your full circle moment,
exactly.
right? This is
exactly. So I got there, and I had met them before. Zach, they came out to a Shinedown show before, and I had met them, and that was kind of like I can die now sort of moment. But
Wait,
then
had you met Hanson before this?
I did. Yeah, I did meet them before, just
okay.
maybe twice.
Okay.
But it was still because of him. But now this was like the next step, like being on a tour.
I see. Okay.
With them.
So you had met Hanson like in a professional capacity before this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. But still through Zach, like it was all that. So we got on the tour, and then I just started shooting. Zach's a photographer too. So we were both like taking pictures of them, and it was super cool. And then they ended up just like hiring me to shoot stuff on that tour for them. So that was awesome. And like I did like a little video and like a ton of photos, and it was just really cool, and they were really nice. And then they sent me a jacket that had my name on it with a Hanson patch, and like they didn't, like, I was a photographer for the opening band that like shot some stuff for them, and they like treated me like part of their crew. You know what I mean? So cool. It's just really cool. Like that's representative of like how cool they are. You know, just it's appreciative and
personal
nice.
Time that, like, you know, someone had to take extra effort.
Yeah,
to come.
It's like
that for you. That's so cool.
It's like crazy. And if I told my younger self that, like, oh, don't worry, 20 years from now, Hanson's gonna send you a jacket with your name on it. Like, come on, it's just crazy.
Yeah, beyond your wildest dreams, right?
Yeah, like you couldn't even think of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just wanted to be like, hello, how are you? Not like I have your number in my phone, you know?
Yeah.
So
this might be a controversial question, but who's your favorite Hanson brother? Do you have one?
See, it's kind of like the New Kids thing. Like they're
but
all
we're not
cool
going to ask you the New Kids thing.
Well, that's the thing. You can't decide. Hanson is the same way. Like Taylor is like super like cool and like artsy and just like super talented. Zach's super funny. Isaac's like the nicest ever. Like you can't. They're so different. And just like the New Kids, they're so different from each other. No, like it's not even comparable.
Does Hanson travel with their family, like each brother? Because I know there's like a lot of kids. And
Taylor has his own bus that he drives with his kids, and he has I think 7 kids and his wife.
Wow.
And it's crazy. So all of his kids are like on tour, and they're all so cool. Like they're like, you know, kids could be like the worst sometimes.
Yeah.
His kids are like little adults. It's like crazy. So yeah, we were there. He would like cook tacos like after the show, like take out a grill and cook for like all of his kids and all of like the opening bands and stuff. It was just so crazy.
That's adorable.
Yeah, very family oriented and super inclusive. It's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like that's a rock star story or moment that you don't really hear about or you can't even imagine.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's really cool. And then he's driving the bus to the next city,
that too.
You know?
I'm saving a lot of money that way too.
Yeah.
But wait, isn't he tired?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's amazing. Okay, so being a photographer, is there any other style of photography or type of photography that you really enjoy outside of what you do for work?
So most of the stuff that you guys see is probably like the live stuff, but my favorite stuff is behind the scenes documentary sort of thing. I love just getting real moments, and that's kind of what I went to school for, was to be a documentary photographer, like photojournalist. So whenever I'm backstage and I'm trying not to be a creep, you know, and creeping around, but those are my favorite sort of photos. And I think that the guys do enjoy those too, especially like down the line when you look back at those kind of like intimate moments. You're like, oh, the really cool big concert photography stuff is super important to promote the tour and to make the tour money, put butts in seats. But when you're looking back on your career, those, you know, when your family came out or when you're hanging out with your friends and stuff like that backstage, those are kind of the moments that I think are the most important and that sort of sculpt you as a human rather than just the flashy sort of this is what's making money sort of thing.
So a few months ago, the New Kids came out with that behind the scenes documentary about the tour. So did you shoot some of that content?
I shot the interviews with Salt and Peppa and Rick Astley and En Vogue.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, all that other stuff was shot like in the beginning of the tour, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't on that tour I didn't shoot much video just because there was so much photography happening where it's just like I wouldn't have been able to do it. It would have just been when I do both, you get like 75% of each. You know what I mean? And it's not really up to my standards. That's why I like to focus on one thing and do it correctly. And then so yeah, I didn't do much video on that.
Okay. It's still cool to hear what part you did contribute, though. And also, on a side note, you know, you talk about the behind-the-scenes stuff. A lot of that stuff does hit New Kids Social. Yeah. Where we see your kind of, you know, them standing on stage before in rehearsal. And those are, I think, shots that...
Yeah. There are some that sneak through. Yeah. Those are my favorite. And sometimes I post them.
Oh, okay. So we gotta, keep an eye on Paris's social.
Yeah, you know, just follow me. I'll give you some exclusive content.
Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't already, up in the left-hand corner, there's a little arrow down. If you don't follow Paris, go click that button. You'll see her profile. You can easily follow her, and you should, because aside from New Kids, you know, she posts a lot of amazing things that she's up to and doing, which is really cool to see.
Thank you.
So you've worked with Hanson. You continue to work with New Kids. Are there any other like bucket list, you know, artists, musicians, bands that you would love to work with?
Honestly, like I've worked with the majority of my like younger self's fantasy. You know what I mean? I just did a weekend with Brandy Carlisle.
Yeah, I saw that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm doing another show. It's another 3 shows with her at the Gorge in Washington.
Wow.
So that'll be after BlockCon, like a week after BlockCon. So I'm excited to do that. Her fan base is just so awesome. And same thing, just positivity, like great attitudes. And it's just fun and it's what music should be. And I kind of just want to stay in that realm of positivity and happiness. Like that's my goal. Like the music could be whatever as long as that's the vibe, you know, as long as the crew and the band and the fans are super into it and super positive. That's all I honestly care about.
Yeah, Brandy does seem like the type of person who you just want to like chill with and hang, like sit by a fire pit with her.
Yeah.
Seems like the best thing ever.
And yeah, what was that thing this past weekend with her? Was that like a fan weekend type thing?
It was, so
at a beach.
Her festival. Yeah. It was like she played, it was 3 days long. She played the first night and the last night, but then she also just did like guest spots like throughout the whole thing. And then there was a second stage on the beach and like it was very hot.
Where was it?
But it was in Destin, Florida.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was like a vacation town, you know, and it was just super cool. Like singer-songwriters just going off and just, you know, cool new music that I didn't know that I'm now a fan of, you know. So it's always a good thing.
Sorry, I'm just looking through some of the questions that people have submitted. I think there's somebody in here who says, TMF here. What's up, Paris? Thanks for stealing my job. You're crushing it. Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know what.
Oh,
yeah, that's Fran.
Fran.
I don't even want to tell you what TFM means.
Nope. TM. Yeah, TMF. I can use my imagination.
I don't know what job he's talking about, but he's awesome. I met him on my first tour ever, which was my second tour. My first tour with Godsmack, he was working with Stand, and I was with Godsmack. So yeah, we have photographers that tour on the same tour. We have this special bond, because we put up with the same sort of things at the same time, which is always fun.
I'm going to give a quick shout out to a group of people who are watching tonight who are mutuals and amazing creators: Rat Tail, Dope Nostalgia, NKOTB Polls, Meow Meow Crew. They're all watching from the Baker Hotel, I assume, in Chicago area. So we'll all be seeing each other.
You're seeing them tomorrow.
I will, yeah.
Yeah. Paris will as well.
I will. I'll be there.
Okay, so Paris, again, when we had Marcelo on here a while back, we asked him, I'm going to ask you too, do you have any questions for the Blockheads?
How do you guys afford it? How do you afford it? I don't understand. It blows my mind. I just need to know. I'm sure everyone's answer is different.
I've always equated it to being married to an NFL fan. Like, if your husband is a Broncos fan, right, or a Celtics fan, NBA, right? They buy the jerseys. They go to the playoffs. They have weekends where it's the draft, and they're all getting together to bet on it. Like, that's just how we spend our money. So it equates to that personally as a husband who's a Vikings fan.
And I think, it's being very strategic with, where to go and keeping, choosing places that maybe aren't going to cost an arm and a leg, an airfare, or a place you can drive to. Collecting points is super helpful as well. Yeah, it's
crazy because you guys are probably better tour managers than a lot of tour managers. You know what I mean? Because you're spending your own money.
Mm-hmm.
So tour managers spending other people's money. So they're like, we'll go this more expensive place. Who cares?
Right.
But you guys have a very special set of skills that you can probably capitalize on. I'm just saying.
I think it's the culmination of a bunch of women too, who we craft together. We make things for each other. We drive together. We fly together. We have, the one person who's really good at getting hotels or airfare. And so we just rely on that, insular crew of people who know how to budget.
Yeah. For the most, so it's a team effort.
It's a team effort for sure.
Right.
Listen, there are probably people out there who money is less of a concern and they can do whatever they want, which is great. But for others, to be a little bit more creative.
Nice. I like it.
A lot of people have side hustles where they make, t-shirts or bracelets or, whatever it is. I think Melanie and I each have our own thing that we plan out these things in advance for a long time to make sure when it happens. This year in particular, with all the Joe Show announcements being last minute, and we have a cruise and a con and a state fair and, casino tour, whatever. It's much more strategic and on the ball currently than we've experienced.
With all the things that you've mentioned, my strategy this year is I'm going to sit a lot out, right? So I'm doing BlockCon, I'm doing a cruise, I'm going to Just the Joe Show in Toronto, where I live, but I'm not doing any of the other new kid shows or any of the other Joe shows. So sometimes you got to kind of sit back, right, and enjoy it on social, and maybe next year can be a little bit more crazy.
Also, rely on people like you, Paris, who are taking these photos or videos or whatever at these events, so that if we cannot go, we can still live vicariously through the socials of New Kids to show us his being. I didn't go to Houston, but I feel like I was there.
Yeah.
So many awesome videos and people sharing lives and the photography that was available. So helps a lot.
Nice.
So that's it for the for the blockheads then? Your burning
Yeah,
questions that you want to know about?
otherwise I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I totally get it. But yeah, that's the one thing where I was like, I don't know how I would do this. And yeah, but otherwise I get the fandom. I understand all of it.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate having you, not just for your photography, talents, but also as a fellow fangirl. Yeah, who
Of
gets
course.
it, right? Yeah, and
Yeah.
appreciates it.
If you don't love what you do, what's the point?
Yeah.
Very much. 100%.
Okay, so Paris, we are going to see you at BlockCon.
Yes.
I'll see you not until Friday. Ashley will see you tomorrow. You still we're not completely sure what you're going to be doing, but
I don't know where I'll be or what I'll be doing,
but regardless, Marcelo is your assistant.
Yes.
You're going to make him carry that second camera. And our assignment is to take pictures of Marcelo, taking pictures of you, of being your sidekick. Love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Beans for breakfast.
If you need something to do tomorrow night, a bunch of us are going to see Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras. If you even know what that is.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds weird.
No, I'm proud.
And if I'm not busy, which I might be, we don't know, I'll go to that.
Okay.
Well, actually, you know what? I saw a clip of the concert, and he thinks he can sing. Does he think he can sing? Okay.
Yeah.
Do other people think that he can sing?
No.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we all are on the same page. Okay.
Just to fill people in, if they're like, what are you talking about? Tom Sandoval's on Vanderpump Rules. He's a real not great guy, but he has a band that is cringe AF. It's a cover band, and they're actually playing in the Chicago adjacent area tomorrow.
See, I love cringe. I love it so much. I scroll cringe Instagram feeds like for an hour. Like, it's so bad.
Yeah.
No, I might be down for that.
And if you've heard anything over the past like month or month and a half, if not 2 months, you heard of like Scandival, like there's been this whole like drama. I think he was married and he cheated on his wife. So basically he's all up in the tabloids.
Yeah.
So this might be an opportunity for you to get some pictures and sell them. Yeah.
It's pop culture. It's a pop culture. I personally cannot not see. So anyway.
All right.
Ashley, are you going to go live so I can see?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah. I'll be live on this account for sure.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Listen, Paris, thank you so much for joining us tonight, especially the night before you're taking off for BlockCon. Are you packed and ready to go?
Oh, I'm ready to go.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I have to be prepared. I have too many things that could go wrong.
But one thing we're not going to worry about are the batteries.
Yeah. Exactly. They're all charged. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing your stories and your talents with all of us. And obviously at least the last full year, most of the creative content we've seen about New Kids on their page, a lot of it has had your name involved. And we thank you for giving us those beautiful photos of the guys that we love and we're here for. So thank you.
No problem. And if you have any requests, let me know.
Oh, yes, because Deb ordered a print from you.
Oh, yeah.
For Hanukkah. So I think she wanted to say hi, and she's looking forward to meeting you in person this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Deb's cool.
Oh, yeah. So if somebody does want to order anything from you or learn a little bit more about you and see samples of your work, what's your website?
It's just my name, parisvisone.com.
Okay.
Yeah, I have everything on there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we'll let you go to sleep because you have a busy day ahead of you. Thank you again so much. We really appreciate.
Of course.
Really
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much.
All right. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Yay.
It's so fun to see like the behind the scenes or hear about the behind the scenes and like, I mean, everyone's working their tails off, but literally having her put it in perspective of like, oh no, it's go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired just hearing her talk about it.
Right. And it's not just the mental, right? Yeah. Exhaustion. It's the physical, but especially with her job. She's got like 2 cameras running back and forth. We know how all over the place that show was, right?
Well, and I always think about, things like that from the perspective of like having worked retail, or if you're because my job, it's like when you're on, you have to be on. Your energy's up, your eyes are open, you are going, going, going. And then after the fact, it's like,
oh, you should have asked her preferred footwear. What is she wearing during the shows? Because I know it's got to be sneakers, right? Like she's 100% heels running around.
Yeah. Nikes.
Paris, if you're still here, what shoes are you wearing during a concert and during the VIP when you're on your feet? I don't know if she's still here.
Question for Marcelo too. The OG got to see like what shoes do you have inserts like gel soles, or like what's helping your back? Do you have the chiropractor?
Yeah, are you wearing inserts or orthotics?
We all might need those this weekend. Right. Everyone should look at stopping at Target and getting some inserts for your shoes, because it's going to be a lot of on your feet, having a good time, and I'm starting to get really excited.
Deep breaths. Yeah, I'm feeling a whole mix of emotions. Yeah, I'm feeling overwhelmed just by the logistics, the things I have to get sorted out, and the unknown, but having more information coming at us over the past couple of days has been very reassuring to me. So.
Yeah, I feel grateful that I'm driving.
Okay.
I'm renting a car, driving, so that if I need to go to Target, I can do that. I can overpack. It's fine. I have room to do it.
Not
so
much.
It's a unique experience traveling for this type of thing that I'm having, but I'm grateful for it. So maybe that in itself is making me excited that I don't have to be scared I'm going to forget something to rent an Uber. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun though. I'm excited to meet you. So those of you who are still around, I have never met in person. So we're about to do that. It's going to be fun. I will not promise anything. I think you and I are on the same page with this, but I will not. We hope to get together. We hope to whatever it, but it's all up in the air. So
we're gonna go with the flow, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I to wear a crown this weekend.
Okay. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah.
I will go live from Tom Sandoval.
Oh, good.
I will promise that.
Yeah. So we'll be seeing, I'm sure many of you who are in the chat, we're going to see you in person at BLOCKCON. So please, if you see us, say hello. We'd love to meet you. And for those of you who aren't joining, we will miss you. We'll do our best to see what we can do, what content we can provide, but we're also going to be enjoying ourselves, and it's a vacation too.
I think it's fair too to say, like, even outside of Blockhead U, we both create content around these experiences that we have to a certain degree. Expect something, but don't expect
the world. No. And you know what? There are a lot of, like you mentioned, Rat Tail is already in town, and Dope Nostalgia is there. There's going to be tons of people who are very, very social media savvy, producing and cranking out a ton of quality content to keep everybody in touch with what's happening. Be like you're there in person. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and Teresa said that she promises to go live as well too. And Teresa is Chloe Cakes 1414. Looking forward to seeing you, Teresa. Yeah.
I have not met Teresa in person either. So Teresa.
Yeah, I think Teresa's probably already there, because I think she posted a picture of her on a plane today, so she's probably safe and sound and on the ground.
Well, prayers, hopes, dreams, positive vibes to everyone traveling.
Live, love, laugh. Yep, all that good stuff. Okay, Ashley, let's sign off so you can go and pack, because you have to roll out of town at 8 a.m. Okay, I will see you day after tomorrow.
Yay!
Yeah, thanks everyone. Bye.
Yeah.